Alright, welcome back to the Aiur Chef, essentially semifinals. The reality is, though, that these guys are just both playing for your entertainment, as they've both been paid $25 for this match no matter what. The main show, though, that comes right afterwards is the best of 7 between XenoCider once again versus another Protoss player, but in that instance, it's going to be Spear. Or not Spear, pardon me, Hunter, because Hunter did beat out Spear in the finals. But spawning in the bottom left corner of the map, from Evil Geniuses, we have the blue Terran XenoCider.
In the upper left, as the red Protoss, it's Puck.
And I've seen it multiple times. People are asking for Trials of the Xel'Naga. I remember those games. They were funny to watch. Red Bull was hilarious. I think that's where it was, at least. But we're trying to be somewhat original with the tournament. And I feel Trials of the Xel'Naga 2 also has too many ways to screw with somebody. It's definitely like a fun thing if you want to extend one game. But the idea is that we still want to have like a regular best of 7, a regular best of 3 afterwards. It's still got to be competitive and not just, you know, like an arcade game, right? We want this to be fun for everybody. So I think one map peppered in with a little bit of spice, and then back to regular maps afterwards is how we'll play it out. But if we do pick something subtle, I think then we can make that apply to all maps. Something like, okay, there's neutral banelings in the middle for everybody to deal with on all 7 maps. Oh, that'd be so nasty just thinking on it, actually. Can you imagine trying to send a probe out to proxy a pylon? It's like 9 banelings across the middle of the map.
No, I can't imagine that.
Well, this best of 3 finishes up one way or the other soon, and then, of course, we go back to the best of 7. So, I thank you guys for joining us on our first Aiur Chef tournament. It's been a blast so far, but it's not over yet. And again, any feedback you guys got, we're willing to hear, because we want to make this something regular. We want this to happen more than just once.
Well, Kane's opening... Oh, shit. Kane just appeared in chat, that's why. XenoCider's opening up with something a little bit more aggressive.
You don't need to feel ashamed. We all have Kane on the brain. He's a sexy-looking guy who wears slippers like nobody else, okay? You can Freudian slip Kane without having judgment passed upon you.
Yeah, I know. You've done it plenty of times.
Actually, I think the best part is like those drama pictures. It's still like probably the funniest moment out of all the live event stuff we did.
Sure. Well, that probe was able to get a pretty easy scout, so I mean, it's not so much a surprise. It can be. Like sometimes Protoss are pretty greedy about not scouting, but Mortis said it's still deadly if you do scout it. You know, Hellions still come up the front. There's still a drop or two. As you know, I can go very drop heavy.
Right, and that's kind of the thing, though. Puck learns a lot from that scout. He sees this first off Marines, no Reaper. He probably knows with the factory coming down that it was going to be drops one way or the other. I mean, XenoCider plays in a somewhat predictable way, and to send 2 Hellions out and followed up with the 6 Marines and a Winnowmine, I don't know. Puck should be able to expect this coming.
Well, will XenoCider expect Puck's aggression? Now he's going to get in here and scout. There's no Nexus. It's unfortunate. The Stalker definitely should have been able to deny that, I feel. Instead, it was a little too far back, but that tells him a lot. It tells him, well, maybe that Winnowmine shouldn't immediately go into the medevac, but rather in my mineral line. Is there something fishy? Yeah,
on Deadwing, you can't. There's such a limited amount of one-base plays, or openers rather, that you can make. You can't exactly go straight to Robo into an Immortal Sentry bust as easily on this map, especially without a Nexus down. So it's these Hellions will confirm that Nexus is just on the way. They'll be able to run up to the main, get some pretty good damage done, maybe kill a probe or 2, but the Photon Overcharge in about 5 seconds-ish should be able to shut them down.
That Oracle seemed a little bit delayed. I don't know if he had to get something else first, maybe a Stalker or something, but it's on its way now. But now XenoCider knows what's going on. Oh my god, those probes stacked up. You know, even. Alright, he gets a good scout.
Yeah, he sees the Oracle being built too. 2 more Hellions going to follow us up. They're probably not going to do a lot of damage, but it's still the threat that the Stalkers have to stay at home. You can't do the 3 gateway all in after the Oracle if he's defending.
Yeah, plus I really think that XenoCider wants to get that overcharge popped off. So that his follow-up attacks are lots better. Because XenoCider, we've seen in plenty of games, he can go very, very drop heavy. Like, you know, 4 drops at a time, like 4 different places. That could be the way that he plays. Just, I guess it depends on what he's feeling like. And here it's going to be 1 drop, not very strong, only 4 Marines.
I still think it's enough to take on the Stalkers. Maybe not with an overcharge behind it, but at least the Stalkers.
Yeah, but Puck really doesn't want to use an overcharge. Yeah, he's really expecting the aggression to continue ramping up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad move. He's doing a good job. He hasn't lost too much yet. Took a bit of hull damage, but shields regenerate fairly quickly.
Yeah. The Oracle gets into XenoCider's main base, but there's a Widow Mine right there.
Ooh, nice shot. There we go. So, speaking of Kane a few moments ago, I just got a message from our slipper sponsor, I guess you could call him. We have officially, at this point, sold, as of someone buying a slipper moments ago, 70 slippers, guys. 70 pairs of slippers. Closer and closer to that $1,000 goal, because $10 from every slipper sale does go towards Base Trade TV, and we want to host some really cool event once we've managed to sell all 100, guys. So 70, we're almost there.
Well, this game opened up a little odd because both players decided to open up with one base, and both had to react to the one base, so they really couldn't get away with what they originally planned to do. The Oracle was delayed, the Stalkers couldn't do any aggression, Xeno decided to keep his Widow Mines on his, his home. So it's not exactly looking like normal. I don't think why would you, that was risky. It seemed necessary to pick up that Widow Mine. Probably wouldn't be able to kill it. But alright, where does it lead into, though? XenoCider is not going extremely drop heavy. He is getting stim and combat shields at a pretty regular time, whereas if he had kept producing medevacs, that would have been, further and further delayed. He does still have 2, though, and they've been repaired. So if XenoCider is feeling like it, if he's his APM's feeling, pretty fast, he can start dropping everywhere. But it's going to be it's going to be more difficult with Phoenixes on the field.
So I definitely wasn't doing this on purpose. Oh, that medevac sneaks past so barely. But apparently we're making a lot of food analogies, and maybe we should try to do that on purpose.
We are?
Because we're talking about the guy being foul earlier for Sergeant Duck and Chicken, and then I was thinking peppering in some spice or something. I don't know. Chat's tracking this better than I am, but
damn.
Now I want to start doing it on purpose. He's gonna go full ham if he doesn't get beefed out on this attack, stuff like that. But we do have the drop coming in. Double Widow Mines. Is Puck paying attention? Is gonna be the big question.
Whoa.
No, he's not. He's busy microing his Phoenix on the other side of the map. It takes some pretty heavy probe kills. Let's see, 5 and 6, so not bad. 11 workers for 2 Widow Mines.
Yeah, and he gets the Photon Overcharge after the Widow Mines are popped.
Even better.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it was necessary, but still, really good baits out of someone who was so reserved. Puck so hesitant to actually burn an overcharge this game.
Yeah, he really was. He was being, I would say, smart about it until he lost all those probes. I mean, everything was perfect up until that point. Just a little bit delayed because of the openers. But it is going to be Colossus, and he's still producing Phoenixes, so going full on to the Phoenix Colossus.
Yeah, that attack was really well done. One of my shots like that are kind of rare.
Giggles.
Sorry, guys. If who is this in chat? You can blame specifically Zizla.
Is that something they also did on Iron Chef, the original? They had to translate the puns they were making?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember it that well.
It was just so cheesy that I remember seeing at least a few.
Careful, we keep making these puns. People are gonna get really salty. Okay, Phoenix looking for some more fight in them, but really with 4 Phoenix and this many Marines, he's got to be careful. Phoenix are really good in PvT when used correctly, but it's that same danger with mutas. You never want to fly him over a bunch of Marines.
Yeah, that's certainly true. With the Phoenix count ever growing, I think that XenoCider knows that. Well, he'll have to take them into account when the fight comes down. Now, it's not like 15 Phoenixes, it's not something insane like that, but Vikings are known for their overkill. So he's gonna have to, decide now, do I micro down the Colossus first, or try and actually kite those Phoenixes and take them down first?
And it's hard too, because the Phoenix, they really lay into it. They don't have a lot of damage, but they have enough damage. So you go for the Nexus Snipe. I don't think that's the right move. Decides to change it up. Goes for the Colossus, almost gets it. Force fields keep these back, but with the Colossus running, it's not attacking, so he kills the Stalkers. But
he's running out of Marines, so
he
the
gets the
Phoenixes
Colossus,
will be able to
though.
clean everything up.
Still, this, like Kobe beef, was a really expensive attack.
Is Kobe beef an expensive attack?
It's expensive. Do you know
what
what it is?
Ended at expensive.
Okay, it's really expensive. Now I'm just trying way too hard. But no, really, getting the Colossus, okay, that was a nice snipe for XenoCider, and it keeps us from being a really imbalanced engagement, but ultimately, losing the medevacs on top of everything else, that's going to cost him. The more medevacs he has to produce, the longer till he can get Vikings out. He really needs that core amount of 4 medevacs.
To be honest, if, he could try and decide to just not get Vikings. I think there are some players in the past that have tried that, just get an overwhelming amount fast enough to deal with Colossus Phoenix, and I really don't know if that's been successful or not. People don't really do it anymore, but it's an attempt he could try because he did just cull the Colossus numbers, you know? If you have to wait for Vikings plus Medivacs, that delays you a long time. But, you know, Marine Marauder, that produces really, really quickly, so...
All 4 Medivacs fully loaded are heading up the left side of the map, and even if the Phoenix come chase them... Problem is he's still... Oh, actually, you know what? This is a lot of Marauders. This might be really bad if he gets caught. I don't know if he'll be able to deal with the Phoenix. A couple Graviton beams, this could get real nasty.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have any other forces attacking anywhere else, which I would be like, okay, he's set up to do something really, really good here, but we'll see how it turns out. The SimCity's going to help Puck here, make sure that the Colossus cannot be stimmed upon.
What an excellent drop. Well, my shot picks off the Phoenix on the backside, but there's no retreat from this. If he picks up in the Medivacs, he dies to the Phoenix. Oh, God, he probably just should have stood his ground and fighted his life. Oh, what is this? Sneaky bugger. There's a lot of probes stacked up right here. 9 kills. No big deal.
But he still lost so much of his army.
Yeah, he really did.
I mean, but he still has an army supply lead, so I guess that doesn't matter.
I feel the Phoenix are still going to reign king on this game. What XenoCider is doing is heavily relying on these Medivacs, drops, etc., but he can't do that with the Phoenix policing the map.
We'll see. We'll see. All of this has got to come to a head, like an actual final big engagement that goes in one person or other's favor. And we'll see how that works out.
Oh, these Widowmines weren't cleaned up.
Nice probe kills, as well as his third command center.
Oh, up to 13. No big deal. He's killed 32 probes this game.
Starting to produce Vikings, so he's kind of giving up on this like drop tactics. Nope, Jig, yay, cancels the Viking. I really think that was might have been out of habit, and he's very intentionally so not going for Vikings.
Yeah, I think it is kind of scary to go for them when you know your opponent has this big Phoenix lead. I mean, truth be told, we've actually seen some Terran players try to incorporate Thors as a way to deal with it. They are light units that stack up quite a bit, but Ghosts as well. I mean, we've seen a lot of weird strategies to deal with Phoenix, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it does feel like good control with Marines tends to beat out everything else.
And of course, keeping your opponent off of those 3 bases is really nice, because it's a very gas-intensive composition where eventually, if you have 3 bases, you just get like the perfect composition with enough gas, like Storms, Charge, Colossus, and Phoenix. Like, who's ever gonna beat that? But as long as you're on 2, Colossus Phoenix, just Colossus Phoenix can be dealt with.
This is so... I mean, lots of Marauders is typically very good to have versus Protoss, but as Zombie Grub says, Marauders, just shut up.
If they did, this wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, just say it.
So, you know, just take that attitude somewhere else. I didn't order a side of attitude, Rifkin.
Well, the Nexus Sniper is going to be really nice. Where's the sound clip? Here we go. So yeah, that's what
Marauders! You should shoot up. That's all I'm saying.
That's all she's saying. The attack going down the middle of the map, though, is just really not going in XenoCider's favor. The problem is, because he has so many Marauders, he's never really had a way to deal with the Phoenix. I mean, we look at the Marine kills this game, and it's really not that many, considering how long the game's been going on. I mean, 50 Marines. This really should have been like 60 or 70, at least made in total, much less dead or not. And because he doesn't have much, he is bleeding them out.
I love how he stims the Marines. It's like 5 Marines. Yeah, let's go get them. No, we're dying.
Well, right now, ooh, nice bait for some splash damage. Leaving XenoCider to just kind of stew here in the middle.
There's so little mines, though. Get some nice kills. The rest of the army comes out to fight. The Marauders are all choked up and without Medivacs.
I almost feel like he wasn't paying attention just there. Just kind of so focused on the Phoenix. You know, that tunnel vision really coming out. But he finally has some Vikings. You know what? Vikings are really not going to beat out the Phoenix initially.
But, you know, here's one big problem, okay? Besides the 3rd base is finally getting up to the Protoss, those upgrades have kind of gotten out of control. Puck's on 2-2 versus just 1 for XenoCider.
I really wish we weren't making food analogies. I was not hungry before this game, but now I really am.
What my banana ice cream?
Well, let's hope these players hurry up and split. What is happening
Make
to
like
me?
a banana and splits.
Help me!
Oh, I got a good pun that we can use.
I'm like
later
a pun
on.
werewolf. Like, just
Oh!
oh, I can't stop! Help! Alright, the Viking count has grown quite large. I actually did not think he would get to this point with the amount of harass that's been going on, but
Whoa!
not pulling the boy. Oh, wait, he is pulling the boy. Oh, wow, he's really going dedicated with this. Okay, then. This is, I want to win move. This
All right,
is
what do you do?
saying, I gotta play another Wretched Protoss after you move.
This is what does he target down? The Phoenix, the Colossus. I would say the Colossus, but I don't know. The Phoenixes can actually be, like we saw initially, enough to take care of the leftovers.
Takes care of the first Colossus. I don't think he's got enough to focus down the second, or the third rather. He takes down the second. Looks like he's gonna get it, but the Marauders on the ground, are there enough left? The Phoenix can still graviton beam so much of this army. XenoCider, please! Reinforcements are coming in. He's got a couple more Marines on the backside. Widowmine's going shots off on almost nothing good, though. What an engagement! But
so close.
Down in workers, relying on mules primarily. He loses his whole army. I'm not sure if this will be the GG, but I kind of feel like it is. There we go.
A GG.
A GG? Game 2 will go to Puck. So won the series 2-0. Congratulations to him. Got to show off some of the skills. He knows how to deal with Terran.